All right, now AB3 here with a quick word before we get today's show started from the folks at Onyx Hunt. Black Friday is coming up, and from now till November 30th, new customers will receive 30% off premium or elite memberships on the Onyx website when they use the code THANKS30. Use the code THANKS30 to get 30% off the premium or elite memberships from the folks at Onyx Hunt. This sale goes to November 30th. You have to go to their website, onyxmaps.com, to get this discount, premium or elite memberships, 30% off. Use the code THANKS30. For those of us who've already got the app and we're already up on it, new features are coming. New wind and weather. You'll be able to see an hour-by-hour forecast for wind speed and direction for up to the next 8 days at any spot on your map. This will be an ultimate tool, great tool used in helping plan your hunt. Also, your weather updates are going to come, and you'll be able to get those. They'll be refreshed every 15 minutes. Stay on top of the weather. Stay ahead. Be able to make great plans for your hunt. Being able to identify weather patterns, weather factors and trends, precipitation, the all-important barometric pressure. These things will now be available within the app, within the new wind and weather update. Trim tracks. I'm excited about trim tracks because sometimes, like a goof, I forget to turn the tracker off, so I got my tracker going all the way back to the house from my stand. I don't need all that. I know how to get to my property. I just got to turn the trim track off and be able to get to my stand. Well, now with the trim tracks, you will be able to edit all the minutia off, edit that drive off to your house, and be able to pick it up right where you need to start in order to get to your stand with your entrance and exit routes. Make things a lot easier if you need to get to that sweet honey hole where you're taking those ducks down. The trim tracks feature is going to be awesome. You'll be able to have an elevation profile for tracks and lines. That's an update that's coming soon. And you'll be able to create markups in 3D mode coming soon for the iOS and web only. So basically for your iPhone folks, and then online you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to create markups in 3D mode. Great stuff coming from the folks at Onyx Hunt. Make sure you go to their website to check it out, onyxmaps.com. And now we begin our show.
From Stone Mountain, Georgia, this is the Bryant Land Show. Hosted by proud Gamecock and South Carolinian AB3.
Welcome, everybody. An exciting week. One of my favorite weeks of the year. Thanksgiving. Always looking forward to Thanksgiving. Hope everyone is getting ready. I'm excited. I know a lot of people are hyped about Christmas. They start Christmas damn near before the end of Halloween. But for me, Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday, and this week, Thanksgiving is coming up. Got the Ravens and Steelers playing football on the Thursday. Going to celebrate Thanksgiving with some of the family, keeping it low key. But looking forward to this great Thanksgiving week that we have here. Going to get a turkey on the Traeger grill. Excited about that. I know a lot of you are going to be roasting, deep frying, cooking turkeys. Some of the turkeys that you killed yourself are still, one of my goals is to kill a turkey and be able to have it for the Thanksgiving feast. Hopefully this spring coming up, I'll be able to get started on that goal. But anyway, great time of the year, November, Thanksgiving. I'm happy for it. Real quick, before I introduce today's guest, one thing also about this week, Black Friday. Black Friday sales, abound. Of course, here at Bryantland and the Bryantland Show, we have a Black Friday sale, 20% off everything in the store. Make sure you go to BryantlandCountry.com, use the code BryantLand, pretty simple, straightforward, and get 20% off everything in the store, BryantlandCountry.com. Make sure you go check it out. Get your gifts for your favorite hunters and huntresses from the store. BryantlandCountry.com is our website. Now, today, very excited about my guest, fella that I've been wanting to talk to here for a while, Blake Moulton. Blake, down in College Station, Texas, duck hunter, deer hunter, hog hunter, fellow Onyx guy. Blake, getting it done on the ducks, just loves doing the waterfowl. He's a huge waterfowler. I know he had a big trip planned to kick off this week, so I got a chance to talk to Blake last week. We had a great conversation. So now, as per usual, what I want to do is get out of the way, fall back, let you guys listen to my conversation with Blake Moulton here on the Bryantland Show.
Bryantland.
I have the chance to talk to a fella that is kind of a all-around hunter. If you look at his page, he's got deer, he's got hogs, he's got tons of waterfowl. So I had to reach out and bring this fella on to the show. Blake Moulton. Did I say your name? Did I say your last name right? Moulton?
It's Moulton.
Moulton. I knew I was going to mess that up.
You're good.
Blake Moulton, welcome to the Bryantland Show. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Man, I cannot complain. I went this afternoon, got in my climber, got up in the tree. We got some cool weather coming through here in Georgia. Didn't really see anything today, just actually a little frustrating. I mean, it was beautiful being out in the woods, of course, and definitely
always.
hitting like the fall, like with the leaves and stuff. But man, I had squirrels on top of squirrels on top of squirrels, and with all the leaves on the ground, it was just horrible. Like every time you hear a sound, it was like, okay. And then you just kind of like glance and you squirrels. And then after a while, probably about like 30 minutes into it, you know, every time you hear a sound, you get numb because you just like, those are squirrels. So like, of course you're hoping that it's a deer, even if it catches you off guard, but still it's just like, okay, oh, those are squirrels. All right. All the squirrels are running. All the squirrels are running. You know, like.
Yeah, that's why I keep my brother close by, man. He loves the small game animals.
And every year I say that I'm going to do more small game hunting because like squirrel hunting here in Georgia opens like early August. So it's still hot and sweaty, like right before deer season. I keep saying I'm going to go out, but the couple times I have gone out, you don't see them as much. It's almost like they know when deer season starts, and that's when they start running around in the trees and getting shuffling all in the leaves and shaking the branches and barking and carrying on. Yeah. Squirrels, man. This is the friggin' squirrels. But you are on a road trip, and I can definitely respect, first of all, I know you out there, you being safe and stuff, but I can respect the man that's going to get on the road and get after his passion in the outdoors, man. Where you headed?
So currently I'm up around the Dallas area in Texas right now. We have a waterfowl hunt. So we did a hog hunt tonight, and for the first time, no hogs came to the feeder, but
What?
a massive 8-point buck walked out, and my buddy was like, "Man, no, you can't shoot him." And I was like, "Man, hey, I'm gonna
Oh.
respect that." So
Oh.
it was a little heartbreaking. Then he showed out and walked within 10 yards of the stand and everything, and we had to let him walk.
Are you bow hunting or are you rifle?
So rifle, yes
Okay.
sir, rifle.
Man.
But
So no
yeah, we're out
bacon.
here.
No bacon, and you had to let the backstrap walk.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately.
Hey, but you like you say, house rules, man. You gotta respect it.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we're just out here getting ready for a waterfowl hunt in the morning. So then after that, we're gonna hunt in the morning and shoot straight out to Arkansas for the opener on Saturday.
Oh man. Now I've heard because I've never been personally. Like I've been to Arkansas. Usually, when I go to Arkansas, it's at the end of the year, maybe like a couple of weeks before the close of the season. The birds have seen everything and heard all the calls, seen all the decoy spreads. So you really got to work. It's really a challenge to get them to work and to cooperate and get some shots on birds. At least it is for me and for the people that I've been with. I'm not a skilled waterfowl hunter by any stretch of the imagination, but I like doing it.
Oh yes, sir.
What
Yes, sir.
is Arkansas? For people that don't know, so let me set it up real quick and then I'm going to ask this question. For people that don't know, Arkansas is like the mecca of duck hunting. Except don't tell that to the people in Louisiana and Western Tennessee by Memphis. Don't tell them that. But for all accounts, Arkansas is the mecca of duck hunting. So it's like a bucket list kind of thing. You want to go to Arkansas. You want to get into flooded timber, which I've not been. Actually, yeah, I did. I did go last year. I did get into flooded timber. That is an experience in itself. So it's kind of a bucket list thing. For you to be there on opening day, just kind of describe what that is like and what that's going to be like.
Oh man, it's a dream come true. So this is actually going to be my first time hunting in Arkansas. Just the probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we went out there to set up a blind on some private property out there, and just being able to go from watching TV, seeing Max Prairie Wings on TV, seeing all the rice fields and loaded with birds. Man, I was just shell shocked pretty much. I couldn't really. I never thought I would see it in person. Like some people's dream is to see like the Grand Canyon, mine is to see Stuttgart, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And finally getting to be there, it was surreal. It really was.
Yeah, Stuttgart is again part of that mecca, and you go to Max Prairie Wing, which is like I think it's the world's largest waterfowl store. I mean, they sell like other hunting stuff and outdoor kind of type stuff, but they are known for their waterfowl gear and just clothes and ammunition, guns, or whatever. The R&T store, Rich and Tone Calls, the duck call makers, they're right next door. And it's funny because the first time I went to Stuttgart, and there was a sign coming into Stuttgart, and it was for a jeweler. And the sign was like, buy, whatever engagement ring, wedding ring, whatever, and get a free Benelli shotgun. And I still have that picture. It's like when you come in the main highway, the Ford dealership is on the left, that big red sign for the jeweler, and then Max P Dub, and just seeing all the birds resting in the different fields, especially if the fields are flooded and they're sitting on top of the water, and you see flocks and flocks of birds just flying through the sky and stuff, man. It is a scene to behold, man.
Oh yes, most definitely. So when Like, I've heard all the stories, but whenever we actually got there and we went to like a little corner store out there, and I seen they had like normally the schedules of the football team there.
Yep.
And I seen the mascot for them is the Rice Birds, and I'm like, man, these people are really serious about their duck hunting out here.
And in the World Championship is usually around Thanksgiving. Normally would be around Thanksgiving time in Stuttgart as well. I don't know if they don't. I don't know if they're doing it this year. Obviously, with all the COVID hell and stuff that we got, but normally, that's around like I think Thanksgiving weekend or something like that, right there in that town too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you're in Arkansas. Well, you're getting ready to head to Arkansas. You're getting ready to hunt in the Dallas area in the morning. But before you got to all that, somebody had to introduce you to all of this, correct?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
And who was the part? Like, did you just have like a keen interest or like an interest on your own? Was it one person in particular that introduced you and you kind of like didn't have a choice? Like, how did it shake out for young Blake to be the outdoorsman that he is right now?
So pretty much, my whole family is hunters. Every single one of us, we all love to hunt. We all have different fields, but my grandfather, he was the main one who got my dad in the duck hunting, and then my dad got me in the duck hunting, and then my little brother. But my grandfather, he used to guide for the Jackson Ranch, who was one time in Ebony magazine for the wealthiest black family in the state of Texas.
Wow.
And so he ran did guide services out there for them. And he actually shared a story with me here recently that he bought his first vehicle from selling rabbits. He used to walk around, go hunt rabbits and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And he would sell the meat and the hides and pretty much just saved up his money and bought a car.
Wow.
And he's been hunting. We're trying to persuade him to go right now. He's 75, and we're trying to get him to go back out there again because we could tell he still loves it, but he's like, man, I can't get out there like I used to and walk the marsh like I used to and everything. But so it just pretty much trickled down from that. My dad, he took me on my first duck hunt at 5 years old. Jeez. And he took me on my first deer hunt around 3 years old. He would carry me out there. Then duck hunting would roll around. He would carry me out to the marsh because I could not walk the marsh at that time.
Sure.
But he would always carry me. So I shot my first duck at 5 years old he let me shoot the 12 gauge. And
did it put you in the marsh ass first?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I was sitting on a 5-gallon bucket, shot my first duck, which was a gadwall, and I couldn't even see if I shot it or not. I was looking at the sky. The 12 gauge put me right on my back.
Now here's the kicker. Do you remember what load you were shooting? Was you shooting 3s, 2.5, or 2 1/4? Were you shooting 3.5s? Do you remember? So that?
I was shooting 2-shot. I know we stick strictly with 2-shot.
Okay, the number 2 size pellet. But do you remember the length of was it a 2 3/4 load? Was it a 3-inch or a 3.5 or?
It was 2 3/4.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
so because I probably wouldn't win Father of the Year for this one, but I gave my son the first time we were skeet shooting and practicing and stuff. I let him shoot a 3-inch, and he was just kind of like, ah. And after that, I let him shoot a 3.5, which he was convinced that his shoulder was dislocated. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, just stop it. And then from then on, I let, when I take him and my daughter out and we skeet shoot or whatever, of course, I give him the 2 3/4 now. But I gave him the 3 And it was just like, it won't be that bad. And then I was like, well, why don't you try the 3.5? And he was like, okay. And then 3.5. It didn't knock him down, but as you know, a 3.5, it gives you a wallop.
Oh yeah, it got a lot of kick to it.
Yeah. So you out there, 5 years old, with your dad, and you shoot your first duck. So do you have memories of hunting with your dad and your grandfather and your brother, all four of y'all out just hunting whatever, whether it's waterfowl, rabbits, or whatever?
Yes, sir. So one in particular, we were hunting, and it was real foggy. And my grandfather, he was out there. He was trying to walk the marsh like us, and it's a real boggy area. And he was walking across the marsh, and he ended up falling. And so, we picked him up, helped him get to the blind. But everything was worth it. Whenever we got to the blind, we hit a 4-man limit. And about time we got back to the truck, got home, cleaned the birds, he was like, you know what? I think I lost my wallet. And we were like, oh no. So he ended up losing his wallet out in the marsh.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir. He never found it.
Never found. So had to replace everything, ID out, the whole nine.
And he actually had his social security card in there also.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Man, that is crazy. There have been times that I've dropped stuff in the woods or what. Fortunately, so far, I've never dropped my wallet, because that would freak me out.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. But dude, 3 generations in your family. And right, because you and your brother don't have kids, right? So
No, sir.
Okay, so it's the 3 generations. Man, how awesome is that? Do y'all sit back and just kind of marvel at that, or just give thanks and blessings, man? Because that is phenomenal.
Yes, sir. So what we're trying to do right now is pretty much put a scrapbook together. I got my first duck stamp whenever I went first, on my first duck hunting season, and my brother got his, my dad has his, and my grandpa has his also. So we're going to put all of that in a scrapbook, and he has pictures from the 60s and 70s and stuff where he was taking my uncle and my dad, then he was taking me and my brother. And so we're trying to put a pretty big scrapbook together of all those memories and stuff.
Wow. Do you, being able to just sit around and have so much knowledge and so much hunting, knowledge and woodsmanship and outdoorsman right there, for you and your brother, just right there at your fingertips. What was the one thing, or what is the one thing I should say, that you learned from your dad, and then what you learned from your granddad that you carry with you? Is there one lesson or one advice, as far as hunting, whether it's hunting deer, hunting birds, hogs, whatever? Is there this one thing that sticks out from your dad, and then the same thing, one thing that sticks out from your grandpa?
Never tell anybody where you hunt.
That is the truth, dude. Man, let me tell you. So, people that listen to my show, they know, I started late, as far as hunting and stuff. I grew up in the country in South Carolina, but I just wasn't into hunting or whatever until I became an adult. And it's funny because with my neighbors and with people, they'll come by in the area where I hunt at, and they're like, you see anything? Or is anything moving? Or my neighbor's notorious for I haven't seen any deer. Have you seen anything? Man, I ain't seen nothing. Then I think the deer in another county. Like I always think,
Exactly.
like, and it's just so funny to hear you say that because at first, I was like I would think about it and I'm like, okay, well maybe I'm not being a good sportsman and you're supposed to like talk it through and stuff, but man, like the more people I talk to and with the premium on hunting areas, whether it be public or private, man, it's like you gotta protect your spots.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. You can't let nobody get that edge on you.
Man. So now, who did that come from? Your dad, or that come from your granddad, or that was kind of like a reinforcement from both?
A reinforcement from both. Yes, sir.
Man.
Because I finally told my grandpa about like, hey, I'm trying to go pretty much mainstream with the outdoor industry and pretty much all the knowledge that y'all have given me.
Mhm.
And I want to show everybody what I know and posting the pictures and stuff. And I felt like he was really upset with me whenever I told him that. And he was like, one big thing is you never tell nobody where you hunt and stuff like that. But I feel like he's coming around to it now. Now that he see how successful we are right now,
Yep.
and that we're starting to get more attention and more light from it, I think he's coming around to the idea.
Man, but you tell is it Mr. Moulton?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell Mr. Moulton, Grandpa Moulton, that look, you got it under control. Like you can you can post that, you can show off your stuff, you can even do the geo tag, but like my geo tags be vague as hell. Like I'll put like like whatever county, like some of my posts I post like East Atlanta, like North, like there's a neighborhood in South Carolina, like North Florence, like it just be vague as a mug, like
Same with me.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta, you do the geotagging for social media, so you get more eyes on your posts and stuff. But yeah, they be vague as a mug, man. So tell Grandpa, you got it under control. You ain't gonna give up the secrets, because I can imagine with all of that knowledge, especially between your dad and your grandpa, man, I know y'all got some holes in Texas, boy. I know y'all got
Yes,
some hunting holes, boy.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Along the coast, that's where most of us, like, where we grew up hunting at, around that area.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some pretty deadly holes out there.
Man, I can only begin to imagine. Cause you're in College Station, right?
Yes, sir. So I'm currently living in College Station. I'm going to Sam Houston State University. I graduated this May with a bachelor's degree in human resource management and a minor in business management.
Okay. That's what's up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just knew when you said College Station that you was gonna say A&M. So that as a graduate from the University of South Carolina, it's good to know that you are not a Aggie. It's very Sam Houston State, very respectable institution. So that's what's up. So now you mentioned that as far as like the light that you trying to shine on the knowledge and stuff that was passed down from your grandfather, passed down from your dad in the outdoors. What are you like? What is your goals like in the outdoor industry? Like, are you establishing a brand? Are you going to put your business management degree to use and work on like a brand or YouTube, or like what kind of goals do you have as far as that?
Yes, sir. So pretty much that was the main reason I got into business management, was because of duck hunting.
Okay.
And I really think that I could make a successful brand, build a brand, establish it, put out YouTube videos, and just dropping knowledge for people to understand and inspire more people to get into the outdoors. Because I just did an article the other day with the Outdoor Life magazine, and they shared some information with me saying that the population of hunters are on a decline right now.
Yes.
And that it's a dying art. So one thing I really want to do is help the youth get into the outdoor life and experience that pretty much how I did. And once you get to experience that, you don't have time to get in trouble. You don't have time to run the streets or anything like that. You're more focused on, man, what am I going to be hunting for this weekend?
Right. Right. That.
So that's pretty much my overall view of like what I want to do. I want to establish a brand to help a lot of the youth get into the outdoor industry.
Now, are you thinking of going down the road of like calls and stuff like that, and call making and whatnot as well?
Yes, sir. So my brother, I'm originally from Double Bayou, Texas, which is a small community.
Mm-hmm.
And probably about 15 minutes down the road, it's called Marsh Fest, where it's a pre-qualifying round to go to Stegard, Arkansas for the World's competition. And my brother is probably one of the best goose callers that I've ever heard.
What?
And so, yes, sir, he's really good. I mean, he's blown me and my dad out of the water with goose calling. And
okay.
so I want to build a call that's pretty much how he would like it. Let him compete at the world competition with that call, and hopefully go from there to creating calls also.
Man, that is awesome. And what's your brother's name? Does he have Instagram and everything as well?
Yes, sir. His name is Christopher Moulton, but he likes to, man, I've been trying to get him to post pictures and do the same thing I'm doing, but he said he likes to go under the radar. He's more just a killer out of the group. He ain't the pretty boy. That's what that's what he tell me.
Well, shout out to brother Christopher, man. That's dope, man. That
yes,
is
sir.
awesome. The last few years, especially when I lived in the Midwest, I lived in Milwaukee. I would go goose hunting with a buddy of mine down in northern Illinois, and I think I got spoiled because like he was really good as well. I can't call a goose from a freaking duck or whatever. Like it sounds like my goose call probably sounds like a goose in distress or something. But he's really good, and I think of all the times that I went with him, I think maybe only one time where we didn't get any, like we didn't kill any geese or whatever. But it's like other than that, every time we went, we were killing geese, man. And he was really good. But I got really into it, and I think I almost like the goose hunting better than the ducks. And I think it's probably because those birds are so much bigger. They're definitely easier to hit than some of those ducks when they come swooping in. It's like once those geese, they pull up and they put that landing gear and they kind of coasted, that's a pretty big target to get pellets on. But
yeah.
But I really enjoy the goose hunting. I enjoy, goose meat. So, but I need to try to get into doing more duck hunting. But, since I've really kind of went both feet all in and probably pretty much waist deep deer hunting, it's kind of, by the time I finish deer season, it's just like I just want to kill a couple of geese so I can have something for the freezer. Definitely not the diehard like you are when it comes to the waterfowl. Let me ask you this, because this is a question I've asked a couple of guys and I'm always interested in the answer, because you do, you're such a diverse outdoorsman. Like I said, you do deer, hogs, waterfowl. Obviously, it's fair to say that waterfowl is your passion. That's where your heart lies. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so then question, do you feel like most hunters, you're either a waterfowler or a deer hunter, especially like coming from the areas where we're from, like in the southeast. You being southeast, southwest out there in Texas. Like I feel like you can only really be hardcore in one or the other. What say you?
Uh, it's kind of hard to say because I mean my brother he's just as passionate about waterfowl as I am, but he's getting ready to start up a kennel for rabbits. He's getting ready to start up his kennel. He's getting beagles coming in pretty soon,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean his passion is like just the small game.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people around my area, they love to coon hunt, they love to rabbit hunt. But I feel like it is mainly chosen between those two. You're either going to be a waterfowler or you're going to be a deer hunter.
Yeah. Yeah. Now there is definitely out there, and I don't want to slight the small game guys, the guys that run dogs and stuff, because there's definitely a huge number of folks that do that and do it well. But it just seems like when I talk to a lot of the guys and gals for that matter, that if you're a waterfowl, like case in point, the guy that I would go goose hunting with in Illinois, he doesn't deer hunt at all. It's like, he'll run his charter and fish in the winter or fish in the summertime, spring, summer. And then after that, it's all about goose hunting. Like he doesn't deer hunt or anything like that. So, and there's a couple of other folks that I know that are like that. Like I know, especially when like I said, living in that Midwest, and the Midwest, obviously, what they're known for with their deer and stuff. But it's almost like the guys that waterfowl up there, they're like, screw deer hunting. Like this is, waterfowl. You know how people say ball is life, waterfowl is life.
Yeah. Yes,
like, there is no other. And even some of the guys here in Georgia, it's like they might deer hunt just a little bit to pass the time, but like once the season opens, was it 30 minutes before first light, whatever first light is on Saturday here in Georgia, just like in Arkansas, that's when they drop decoys and drop those mud motors and get after it.
Oh yeah. That's I mean, we were always just pretty much taught just to be respectful about all nature and just pretty much hone our skills on all different type of game that we're going to be hunting. So like morning time, I would go, so opening morning for Texas in the South Zone, I went duck hunting that morning. That afternoon, I went right back to the fields and shot a doe that afternoon.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir.
Okay, a little twofer. Nothing wrong with a little twofer, especially
Yes,
when you can get it. Nothing wrong with a little twofer. Okay, okay, man, that's awesome. That's phenomenal. So let's talk about deer a little bit because like I said, I'm into the deer. I don't proclaim to be any kind of guru or anything like that. I'm still learning, trying to become a better deer hunter. Like I want to get to the point where I'm one of those guys that kill bucks consistently year after year. Right now, I'm kind of I can get some does. I can get does on a pretty good pattern or catch them at a feeder or whatever and make good clean shots because I bow hunt. That's all I do. From our season opens middle September or second week in September, closes like the third week in January. And I will have a bow in my hand every time that I go out. I don't rifle hunt or anything like that when it comes to these deer. What about you? Are you a rifle hunter strictly? Do you bow a little bit, or what's your preferred method?
So preferred method for me is is rifle, but this year we're looking at getting into bow hunting. I heard it's a whole different experience
Oh,
than rifle hunting. My brother, he got us a bow the probably about 3 years ago, to where we're bow fishing,
okay.
and so we've been bow fishing for alligator gar uh, in the Trinity and stuff, and it's real fun.
I keep saying every summer I'm going to try bow fishing, and I don't. So I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna say it again. This summer, I'm gonna try to get out and go bow fishing because it does look like it's a lot of fun. And even from your regular bow hunting, where you're bow hunting either deer, hog, or turkeys, bow fishing completely different skill set. Like I've heard people say, if you go into bow fishing like you bow hunt, you will miss every time. Like it's
Yes.
completely different. Like there's no, I think it's almost instinctual type shooting because there's no, no, what's the shit, like no peep sight, no, not scope. I keep wanting to say scope, but not, oh hell!
Like no
The
sights.
sight. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jesus. I had a brain fart. Yeah, no sights. No peep. It's just instinctual type shooting. So I definitely want to try it, but I'm just gonna say, and people that listen to my show on a regular basis, I know they're probably going to mouth this with me. There is nothing better, in my opinion, than having a animal, whether it's a deer, hog, or turkey, 10, 15, 13, whatever yards away, watching it, chewing on grass, crunching acorns, crunching corn, seeing its breath on a cold day, and then have it turn either quartering away or complete broadside, and you pull back that bow and hear the smack of that broadhead in the arrow cutting right through that thing at such a short distance. There is absolutely nothing like it. I know rifle hunters and stuff, people make jokes about rifle hunters. It's like, oh, smoked him from 200 yards. He never knew I was there. All of that crap. And that's fine. I don't know. Hey, muzzle loader, rifle, get it how you get it. But I promise you, the first time you kill a deer with a bow, you will not want to pick up a rifle. I'm just telling you. I don't know much, but I know what I know. And for me, I'm just saying. So just be careful. No, I know you want to get out there and 6.5 Creedmoors and 30-06s and all that stuff, and all that's fine. Don't get me wrong. I got, like I said, nothing against that. Your muzzle loaders, you want to get it old school like they used to do back in the olden days. You put one little ball in and your gunpowder and stuff it down and whatnot. Hey, no, I got nothing against that. I've seen some monster ass deer taken with muzzle loaders, but I promise you, you kill a deer, even if it's a doe, you kill a deer with a bow, it will. Remember, what was dude from Martin, Stan? Whenever Stan would tell Martin something, he meant it, and he'd be like, "Change your life." I'm telling you, you kill a deer with a bow, it will change your life. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just telling you. So be careful.
That's what I'm ready to see, because I've got a bunch of buddies who are diehard bow hunters. I mean, they're strictly bow hunters. Rifle season roll around, they're still with their bow.
Yeah, and be mad that you got to put on the orange too, because it's like, like why we got to put this? But you can't bow hunt with a slug in your ass. That's all, So put that orange on, people. The orange vest, orange hat. Get out there. If you bow hunting, when the rifle folks out there, make sure you protect yourself. But yeah, man, I'm like your buddies. Like I remember, I joined the hunt club this year, and I was talking to a fella, and we were just having casual conversation. And I was like, so do you bow hunt? He was like, yeah, during bow seasons, like rifle season come, I pick up my rifle. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I bow hunt year round. He's like, year round? It's like, you don't pick up a rifle? I was like, I don't even know how to shoot a rifle. Real talk. I don't even know I can shoot a shotgun, but I don't know how to shoot a rifle. But I'm surgical with this bow. So he was like, man, I don't see how y'all do that. You limiting yourself. Oh man, I just enjoy it, man. I enjoy it, man. It's definitely part of the outdoors that I thoroughly enjoy. So.
Exactly. Yep. I'm looking at some sponsorships right now, and a few of these guys, they were looking. So I did a photo shoot with one of my sponsors, and they were like, hey, here's a bow. This is for the bow segment. And I'm like, I've never shot a bow before. Like from a tree stand or anything like that. And they were like, oh, well, just act like it. And I'm like, okay, I could do that. I could just sit there and act like it.
That's funny. It's fun because I need to do some shoots for press as well. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, when am I gonna do this? Because like with it being in season, being in season is probably like the most natural, most authentic time to do it. But I don't want a photographer tripping through my woods, taking pictures of me and my favorite stands or my favorite trees and stuff. Because the first thing that goes to my mind, that's a whole nother set of scent. That drag it into that area, and and the camera and all that stuff, which is whatever. But man, that's a whole nother body with a whole nother set of thermals and scent that's going into my area, man. Like
exactly.
We might have to find somewhere else. Maybe we go on public land or something and do a photo shoot.
I brought my buddy who's a photographer. His name is Dakota Bornstein, and he went out there. He was doing the photo shoot of me and my brother duck hunting.
Yeah.
And so everything was just strictly just live action. We're sitting there shooting. He got some good shots, and season ended. So this season, he called me. He was like, "Hey, I got my duck hunting license. I'm ready to go duck hunting." And I'm like, okay, okay,
nice.
Yeah, let's do it. So I mean, I'm more than happy that he got bit by that waterfowl bug, and I'm more than happy to take him for his first duck hunt.
Now, was he hunting before? Or was he like just completely green, or like did he hunt anything before?
So he had a military background, so he was real familiar with guns and everything like that, but never hunting or anything like that.
Okay. Man, he ain't ready. He don't know he don't know what he got himself into.
I'm telling you, I've told some people just the other day that so they didn't believe me. We found a spot on public land. And my buddy Kenneth Davis, I looked at him and I was like, so, okay, this spot is 3 hours away. Man, are we going to drive back home or what? And he looked at me, he said, man, we're about to camp out all night. We're going to get a campfire going. We're going to sleep right here, and we're going to be the first ones at the ramp putting in.
Oh,
and I was like, okay, hey, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I've heard the stories about the hostile, to put it politely, hostile interactions at the boat ramp on opening day and on public waters. It is definitely protect yourself.
Yes.
Y'all make sure y'all protect yourself, because I've heard the stories of, like I said, confrontations and just people just not, extending common courtesy. Like y'all all are there for the same thing: to load your boat, get on the water, have a good time, shoot some birds, and get back to the family, safe and everything. But apparently, once that switch kicks on for duck season, all of that goes out the window, and it can get kind of nasty. So y'all, like I said, y'all make sure y'all protect yourselves out there.
Yes, sir. Exactly. That same day, we had a group of hunters. So we put in we slept about 3 hours.
Okay.
Got up, put all the stuff in the boat, was ready to roll out by 4 a.m. And we got out there, set up. We were already set up by 4:30. And we had a group of guys come in probably about 25 minutes before shooting time and try to get within 50 yards of us. And we were like, oh, there's no way that this is about to happen.
Yeah. That one, and then I heard, the guys that come in at like first light just blaring with the bass boat, so they got all the colors, and then they got the engine going, and they coming in 60 miles an hour, just right through decoy spreads with with a bright ass boat, which if you don't duck hunt, any kind of bright colors and stuff basically causes the birds to flare, so they come in with the metallic, paint job on the bass boat and stuff. I've heard those stories. I've heard, folks getting drug out of their holes because they weren't supposed to camp out in their hole. Like they basically got on the water, got to their hole, slept in the boat in the water, only to have the game warden come and drag them out of their hole because they weren't supposed to spend the night on the water. So it just it's bananas. Like you got duck hunters, boy. Folks, it's they're a whole different breed, man. It's something different going on there with some of y'all.
Oh yeah, I've had to tell people they're like, okay, hey, when can we go hunting with you? And I'm like, are you willing to give up sleep? And they're like, yeah, it ain't nothing to get up at 4 o'clock. I'll just go to bed early. And I'm like, no, that day before, you're up all night scouting, setting up decoys. You're doing it all.
Yeah.
And you're probably not getting in bed till probably around 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then rolling right out of bed 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is definitely. Any kind of hunting that you really get into, you're going to definitely have to put in the work, but it's a different kind of work. And then you talk about, setting decoys out in the water and stuff, and especially if if you're not in a field or like a flooded, cornfield or something like that. If you're talking about trying to find little holes in the lakes or, little ponds and stuff. So now you add coal, you add water to that element, and yeah, it can make for a very nasty day. Matter of fact, I got a video. We were in a blind in Arkansas, and it poured down rain. And I took my GoPro and just turned it up so you could get the full effect. And we were relatively, and I use the term loosely, relatively dry in the blind. But that water was just pouring and pouring. It was miserable. But when it stopped, we killed a couple of ducks. But until then, it was straight up misery. So yeah, so you get water, and then you add the cold and wind and stuff like that. And then on a good day, if the sun, it's even better day when the sun's not out, but it makes it colder and just, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely, it tests your mettle. It definitely does.
Yes, sir. I think the only duck hunt I've ever passed up on was a trip in North Dakota. We were out there, and it was the day before. It was probably around 20, 25 degrees. And so then that next morning, whenever we got up, the temperatures had dropped to -17 with a wind chill of -25. And I'm like, I'm a diehard duck hunter, but this is this is a whole different animal right here.
Yeah, yeah. I've had I've had some single digit goose hunts. The only good thing about those though is for the goose hunts you're in a pit blind, so you're underground to begin with, and then
Mhm.
you got like the little butane heater going, so it's not that bad until you start killing geese and you got to go out there and go get them.
For
Um,
sure.
and then I've killed when I was in Wisconsin. I killed two deer. I think one was in the single digits. I want to say like 7 degrees, and
Oh man.
then the other one was I think 14, 15, somewhere in that neighborhood. And my whole thing was living in Wisconsin. I just wanted to kill a deer in the snow so I could see the blood trail, and I did it twice. But I definitely risked frostbite doing it, but
Oh yeah.
with a bow, mind you, with a bow. So
Oh wow.
yeah, first time I didn't fare so well. I hit a major artery, but I hit the artery in his ass. Because I was frozen by the time I got ready to draw back and shoot. The second time around, I was a little bit smarter. I was in a shooting house that had windows for bows, so I was a little bit smarter from that standpoint. But still, like I said, risk frostbite on both occasions. But I got both of those deer. But yeah, I feel you though. The cold is a whole nother beast, man. Whole nother
Yes,
animal.
sir.
And
Yes, sir.
when you start talking about wind chills dipping, that's a whole different ball game. So you duck hunting tomorrow, which is Thursday as we record this. Then you headed to Arkansas for the Arkansas opener, and then after that, what's next? Where do you got any other like out of state hunts or kind of bucket list type hunts that you're trying to get in this year?
Yes, sir. So pretty much after this, after Arkansas, we're looking at going to Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Tennessee, and closing right back out in Texas.
Nice. Have you duck hunted in Oklahoma?
Gonna be first time.
Let me know how that goes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's gonna be
Let
the
me
first time.
Yeah, let me know. I'm very curious to know how that goes. I duck hunted in Oklahoma last year for the first time. I was at work and I scheduled it to go with a fella. Um, so literally, like I worked that Saturday, got up. You talk about the hours and stuff. Got up, drove 2.5 hours to go meet him. To be there at like 4, and then luckily it wasn't like we weren't in a boat or anything. We were in layouts off of a pond, so that was kind of cool. We didn't have to worry about that, and that was probably been to Arkansas. I've duck hunted in Wisconsin, duck hunted in Georgia. That duck hunt in Oklahoma was probably the most successful shoot that I've ever been on.
Oh wow.
In Yeah, in Oklahoma. So just I'm curious. I'm gonna leave it at that. So when you go to Oklahoma and then when you finish, like, are you doing public land or you got to hook up on some private land there, or what's your status
So
on Oklahoma?
we're gonna be doing both. We're gonna do private and public.
Okay, yeah. When you finish in Oklahoma, let's have a conversation because I'm just curious as a person who is more hardcore of a waterfowler than I am, and your first time in Oklahoma, I'm curious to what your takeaways are going to be. So we definitely gonna have to have a conversation when you come back from Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Hopefully this year I can finish out with a few more bands this year.
So how many bands have you gotten so far?
So right now, been hunting for 18 years. I have two duck bands and two dove bands.
Okay. Okay,
Yes,
for
sir.
18, I mean, shoot, like I said, just getting started good. About 5-6 years into this thing, I've not killed uh, any bands. I want to, but the more I throw myself into deer hunting, the more I'm lessening my chances of killing bands, and I understand that. But yeah, that's dope, man. And again, for those who may not know, banded birds is just kind of it's like a champion. It's like a championship almost. They ban the birds to kind of keep track of them, and then if you happen to shoot a banded bird, you turn it in. They have like a website where you could go, you can put in the number that's on the band and stuff, and it'll tell you like where the bird was banded at. And it's kind of cool because I know people that have like killed birds in like Georgia that came all the way from like Manitoba or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they
Yes.
come like a long way. So that's really really cool. So man, that's dope that you've already got some bands under your belt.
Yes, sir.
So, hey, Blake, I have really enjoyed this, man. 3 generations of strong black family hunters. That is to be celebrated, man. That's dope. You got your season is underway. You got your degrees and everything. You're building your brand. You're making your mark, man. I am very excited for what you're going to do in this outdoor industry, and it was a pleasure to talk to you, man. I appreciate you taking the time to come through on the Bryant Land Show. But before you take off, man, before you get out of here, just let the people know where they can find you, YouTube, websites, whatever, man. Let folks know where they can find you.
Okay. So my Instagram is Blake_Moulton. And it's pretty much, you can see all the pictures and content there. I'm doing a little bit more branching out to Facebook right now, but we're getting ready to launch a YouTube channel, and I'm going to drop that link on my Instagram, and that will probably be taking place after this season.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Well, Blake, man, y'all keep it up. Give my best to Grandpa and Pops, man. There's just so much respect for y'all to have, like I said, those 3 generations of hunters, man. Good luck, this weekend. Good luck in Arkansas. And like I said, man, definitely when you come back from Oklahoma, let's chat, man, because I'm curious to see what your takeaway is going to be, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Blake. You take it easy.
Yes, sir.
One more time, I want to say thank you to Blake for coming through, showing some love on the Bryant Land Show, man. 3 generations of hunters is just so awesome. I'm glad we got to talk about that amongst the other things that we got to talk about. Man, just wishing, the best for Blake. Big things for Blake Moulton coming along here in this outdoor industry. I know he's going to continue to do good things, and I'm just glad that he took the time to come through here on our show. Man, this week, again, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, all that other good stuff, man. Make sure y'all are safe out there. Sometimes those Black Friday sales can get a little bit crazy. I know, again, I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. Sitting down, eating some turkey, eating some dinner. Turkey that I'm going to make myself this year. I'll post the pictures of it. Going to make that turkey on my Traeger grill. I'm so excited. Looking forward to it. Then sit down, watch my favorite team, Pittsburgh Steelers, handle business against the Ravens, undefeated Steelers, man. I almost kind of want them to get that one loss out of the way before the playoffs and then roll all the way through. But we'll see how that happens. Anyway, as for me, before I get ready to get up on out of here, just want to remind y'all, man, BryantLandCountry.com is our website. Make sure you go to the shop tab on the BryantLandCountry.com website. 20% off. Use the promo code BryantLand, all one word. Get 20% off of everything in our store, BryantLandCountry.com. We also got podcasts. We got videos that we've done. One-stop shopping, BryantlandCountry.com. Black Friday sale on our website. Make sure you go check it out. Promo code Bryantland, all one word, will get you 20% off. Want to send a big shout out and a big thank you to our friends at Onyx Hunt. They sponsor our show. We appreciate it. Make sure you go to their website, onyxmaps.com. Get 30% off on premium and elite memberships using their code Thanks30. Onyx Maps, like I said, proud sponsor of the Bryantland Show. Also, want to send a shout out to the folks at Traeger Grill. We are a Traeger Grill's ambassador. We are looking forward to Thanksgiving, getting that turkey on there, getting that turkey done. Make sure you go get your Traeger smoke started. Join the Traeger Nation. Check out Traeger, our friends with the Traeger Grills. Our Setter Boots, another contributor, sponsor to the Bryantland Show. We appreciate you. Got my new elk tracker boots that I've been breaking in this week on a few hunts. It's been cold here in Georgia. My feet are toasty. I don't feel any cold because those boots are phenomenal. I got a pair. You should go get a pair. Irish Setter Boots. We say thank you. Make sure you go and check them out. Man, y'all stay safe out there this weekend. Get some hunts in, duck hunts, deer hunts, whatever it is. Hogs are still running around. Always can take them out. Always a great time to take out predators on predator hunt. Whatever the case is, man, just get out in the woods and enjoy yourself. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Come back next week right here for another episode of the Bryantland Show.